When was the last time your salary went up and your life actually felt easier? Not temporarily easier, not easier for the first week after the raise, but genuinely, structurally easier in a way that lasted. Most people, when they sit with that question honestly, realize the answer is almost never. The number goes up, the expenses reorganize, and within a few months, the feeling is identical to what it was before. And if that pattern has repeated itself more than once in your life, it is worth asking whether the problem is your spending or whether the system producing your income was designed to produce exactly that outcome.
There is a structure built into the way most people earn money that almost nobody examines directly. Not because it is hidden, but because it is so normalized it stopped feeling like a structure at all and started feeling like simply the way things work. You perform a task, you receive a payment. You use that payment to cover your life, and then you perform the task again. The cycle is familiar enough that questioning it feels almost impractical, like asking why the sky is blue when you have bills due and an inbox full of Monday morning emails. But something becomes visible when you look at that cycle through the lens of systems design rather than personal effort. A salary, at its core, is not a reward for your value. It is a price set by someone else for the minimum amount they need to pay to keep you showing up. That distinction sounds subtle, but it carries significant implications for how wealth either accumulates or does not accumulate over a working lifetime. The psychological mechanism that makes this system so stable is called the consumption anchor. As income rises, lifestyle tends to rise with it, at roughly the same pace, a pattern economists call lifestyle inflation. The person earning $40,000 feels financially stretched. The person earning $80,000 feels financially stretched. The person earning $150,000 feels financially stretched. The number changes, but the sensation does not, because expenses reorganize themselves around whatever the new income level becomes, leaving the same thin margin at the end of each month, regardless of what the paycheck says. What makes this mathematically significant is the concept of the gap, the distance between what you earn and what you spend. Wealth does not accumulate from income alone, it accumulates from the consistent preservation of that gap and the deployment of what sits inside it. A person earning $60,000 who maintains a $1,200 monthly gap and invests it systematically is building something real. A person earning $120,000 who has allowed lifestyle inflation to consume the entire raise is financially in the same position, just with better furniture and a more expensive car payment. The deeper issue is that the salary structure was never designed with your wealth accumulation in mind. It was designed for stability for the organization paying it. Predictable labor costs, predictable output, predictable retention. The raise exists not to accelerate your financial position, but to reset your expectations upward just enough to keep you engaged for another cycle. That is not cynicism. That is how compensation systems are actually built when you read the organizational behavior literature behind them. The exit from this pattern is not a larger salary. It is the development of income that does not require your presence to function, and the discipline to keep the gap intact while that income is being built. That process is slow, unglamorous, and invisible to almost everyone around you, but it is the only mechanism that actually breaks the cycle rather than just making the cycle slightly more comfortable. Understanding the system is not pessimism. It is the first step toward building something outside of it.